Right, hello everyone. I want to apologise for last night and my mood. It's weird. I sometimes have days where I just don't want to speak to anyone. That's most of the time, actually. I'm a deeply introverted person, and speaking with people, where it takes a lot out of me. Um, and there are days where I just have to not talk, and I have to recharge, and then I can just get on with things and it's fine. But last night was one of the days where I need to recharge. I kind of realised after the podcast was over, and just how imprecise I was being and how lazy my thinking was. I was getting angry with Alex. I didn't want to listen to him and Mark speaking. I didn't want to read the comments. I didn't want to I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be doing the podcast, but it's scheduled, so it's not just. It doesn't matter my feelings. I have to work around all this. Yeah. So actually, it's worth mentioning with woes. Just to reiterate, I've said nothing publicly, which I haven't already said privately to woes. Just so people know. Is it improper for me to be bitching about the man in such a way? Yes, it is. And I apologise for that. I shouldn't have done that last night. If it was any other day, I wouldn't have said what I did in that way. But to reiterate my statement, to rephrase it, to perhaps make it more palatable, I genuinely care about Colin. Okay, I genuinely like the guy, and I do consider him a friend. And you'll notice that's the first time I've used his real name. But now that people are doing it, I suppose the big secret's out. But yeah, I'm using his name in this instance just to make it clear that I am speaking about the man. I do care about him, and I do consider him a friend, and I do have a concern for his well-being. My worry, and I have said this to him, was that when he started making videos which were more kind of ideological and less reflective, and this was around 2015, it was around the middle of that year where this change started to happen, where he got caught up in the alt-right kind of energy. My worry is that him involving himself with all of this stuff, the networking and the ideology and the strategy and the politics, in my view, this is a distraction, and it's him. It's kind of his lower self distracting the rest of him from working on his higher self. So and again, I've said all of this to woes. This is what I think has happened. And so it doesn't matter how many subscribers he has on YouTube. Sure, have his project and have it be successful, great, but it should correspond to his own personal growth. His own growth as a man and his character and his quality as a man shouldn't just be forgotten, and shouldn't just be, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters more than anything else. And my concern is that in kind of basing oneself and one's confidence maybe upon how many subscribers you have, and one's involvement in these kind of external projects, I think that's a mistake. And again, I've said this to him, and that's kind of what I was saying last night, although in a far more. I was getting really angry with Alex for some reason. It's weird. Me and Alex, we don't butt heads, but when I'm in that sort of mood, I get very petty and bitter and controlling, and I want to just push everyone away or push everyone down. And Alex, he's a total extrovert, totally high energy all the time. Totally, I'm not like an optimistic person when you're actually with him, and I have to deal with Alex. I have to approach him in a certain way, whereby I can kind of work with his personality, because it isn't something which especially when I'm in that state of mind where I get lazy, it's something which I can easily get annoyed with. So yeah, last night it was just a bunch of things, and there have been several things privately which happened lately for me, just generally speaking, which have kind of maybe have all kind of reached a peak in, or sorry, what's the word I'm thinking of? A singularity? No, there was just an accumulation of things, which, and my mood yesterday was just kind of a retreat, but it coincided with the podcast, and there have been it does happen every few weeks. I have just a day or so where I'm in that sort of strange mood, and I don't want to talk to anyone, and I just want to, you know, read or fucking play video games or something. Just be lazy. Um, so yeah, it all came to light last night. I thought about taking the podcast down actually, or making it unlisted, but I figured I'd just do this instead. And for the people who don't care or have no patience for it, then that's fine. You can leave. I've had people complaining in the comments a lot lately. You can leave. I don't care. Your complaints, unless you come to me directly and personally with constructive criticism, in the sense of, okay, this is what you're doing, this is why it's wrong, have you tried doing this? I'm telling you this because I care, you know. But I don't really get comments like that. I'm not surprised by that. That's not surprising to me, because most people who surf the web, especially in the alt-right, they're just looking for different channels to kind of support their ideological biases. And if you want a channel which is just going to tell you how it is, man, we can do a bit of that, but it isn't the whole thing. My style is very raw, and I let my personality get in the way. I don't have a problem with doing that, because it's a learning experience, not only for me but for also people watching. I have no fear about it, about showing my like yesterday. I have no shame about doing that. Of course, it shouldn't have happened, and it would have been better. And I apologise to everyone yesterday after the fact for being so arsey. But at the end of the day, you can take it or leave it. The internet's a free place. You can watch these podcasts and videos, or you cannot. It's really down to you. If you want to change it, if you want to change how I do things, well, Sonny, that's there's a bit of a road to go down before you can do that. So, is there anything else worth mentioning? No, not right now. I assume that other things are self-evident. Oh dear. Yeah. Thank you for listening.